Actually get and again and again. It is important for us to challenge the authoritarian ruler again and again and again until we eventually get our freedom, because not challenging him means giving up. Yes, we know that all odds are up against us, the military, the police, and all institutions of state. But also it is clear that the people of Uganda are standing firmly behind the forces of change that I am leading. So we are challenging Museveni first and foremost to remove any iota of doubt to the world, especially in the international community, and to remove all the pseudo-legitimacy that he lies the international community with. And therefore, the people of Uganda will be able to fight for their rights while the world will stand with them. That is why we're running again.
In 2021, you contested the results. You talked about the fact that the results were essentially all but guaranteed. The voting was rigged. You contested the results, but obviously it didn't lead to any meaningful outcome. Talk to us about what you have learned this time around. What are some of the lessons that you learned from the last time you ran back in 2021? I remember interviewing you then. What lessons have you learned from them that you're applying now, Bobi?
First and foremost, we've learned that dictators might not go with the first or second or third push, but eventually they fall if we don't give up. We have learned that we have to devise various means of communication, but most importantly, we've learned that we have to send back the responsibility to the population. In the previous election, I was under house arrest immediately after casting my ballot, which I expect the same thing now. As we speak right now, more than 730 of our colleagues are in detention. They've been arrested. Many are abducted and are missing. Some have been killed, but we are pushing on. But again, this time, we don't anchor it on an individual. We don't anchor it on myself. Yes, I'm the presidential candidate. Yes, I'm the leader. But we have tasked the people of Uganda to take charge of the campaign, to take charge of the voting, of the vote protection, but most importantly, in case Museveni rigs the election, like all signs are showing, the people of Uganda must rise up and demand for their victory.
What message do you have for young Ugandans who feel disillusioned about politics? I mean, we've seen in neighboring Tanzania, for example, just a few months ago, that election was also widely contested, and there was a massive crackdown as well on opposition voices as well. Just talk to us about how young Ugandans who feel disillusioned about politics, who feel that this time the vote is all but certain and that it is rigged, how do they stand up for peaceful and democratic change in your country?
To the young Ugandans, we've constantly told them that democracy works. But democracy only works when people stand firm and defend it. Therefore, we would have opted for violent means, but we don't believe in violence. Violence has never gotten nations anywhere. We believe in voting firmly and outstandingly many, and then defend that election, defend that victory. We've called upon the people of Uganda to exercise their constitutional right. Our constitution, Article 29, provides that the people of Uganda can peacefully, unarmed, protest any wrongdoing. And that is what we're calling upon the people of Uganda in case General Museveni rigs the election this time.
Obviously, campaigning, Bobi, is very different from governing. Just in terms of your plans, I mean, what can you share with us if you ever were to reach the top job in Uganda? What would you share? What can you share about your plans in terms of tackling the economic hardship that has plagued the young people of Uganda, in terms of tackling corruption, which is obviously a massive issue as well, in terms of uniting Ugandans across ethnic lines? What would be your priority, Bobi, from day one?
Thank you. The issue of leading our country is not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. Because we are confident. We've seen that all across the country. And we are sure that the people of Uganda will entrust the next generation with the leadership. Back in the day, our problems were three: ignorance, disease, and poverty. But now our problem can squarely be circled into one: corruption. Massive corruption, which has been institutionalized, which has been turned into a currency and as a way of living and a way of staying in power. We want to crack down on that corruption. when we take power. But most importantly, we also want to re-empower the institutions of state, and end the state capture, ensure that the judiciary and the legislature are independent and can check the executive. That way, we will be able to stop the one-man rule and have knowledgeable, talented, and able people to bring minds together and lead our country ahead.
Bobi Wine, live for us there. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Welcome back, people from Africa and across the world. Wherever you are watching me from, I love you and appreciate you. Welcome again and stay tuned. Now, that was an interview of Bobi Wine with CNN. According to what Bobi Wine was trying to address is something that has to be looked inside and deeply, because all that he's trying to speak about is something that I believe that it is possible. It is possible because this is not the first time Bobi Wine has tried to contest for this position of a Ugandan presidential seat. But because for the first time he contested, he believed that he won the election, but the system of Yoweri Museveni and the system of Uganda was not ready to allow him to get this position. That's why he was not able to get this position. The election was rigged. And many people came out proving this, that Bobi Wine won the election. But because Museveni was not ready to step out of the power, he was not ready to hand over the power, the position of all the seat. That's why the election was rigged. And many people came out proving this. Now, let me tell you something today. I remember during the time Kizza Besigye was arrested. He was arrested when he was in Kenya after an interview with the NTV of Kenya. And he raised some concerns concerning the country of Tanzania, as how things are going on and how he feel like they have to do what he think that the people of Uganda can do and make a change, maybe to bring a change and maybe to make their countries be in a situation where they want it to be. Because he was saying that in Uganda, there is no election. And all that is being done there as election is just a play around. This is just a deceiving, whereby they organize election, but in reality, there is no any election that is happening there. Because this is just a paper that you are being given to go and vote, making you to believe that maybe by going through the ballot, then you are going to make a decision that maybe will come to help you. But after the people have participated in this democratic, so believed democratic way of making the decision, that's when they find that there is nothing that's happening, nothing that's coming out as a decision making, because this is just a paper that you are being given to go and put inside a ballot box. But after that, what you are doing is something that has already been done. So Kizza Besigye was trying to say that in Uganda, election cannot bring a change. Election cannot bring a solution, but only revolution can do this.
To go to the election, and that election will say, you know, people have voted for change and the change will come. It won't. If we want change in this country, let me say it for the 1000th time, the only way we shall have change in Uganda to get the Uganda we want is through a revolution, not an election. We must carry out a revolution. We must scoop all this mess and get it by the side. A revolution, popular revolution. The people of Uganda must, and that's what I was being sued for, that I am, that this is incitement to violence, that I was asking people to rise up and cause change. That's what you must do. I am prepared to answer in court. I can see, yes, you know, transition, not succession. We must transit from gun rule to people rule. That's what. And that transition won't come without a fight. We must fight for it.
And he finally said that he's not supporting chaos or crisis. But he's just asking the people. But that if you, the young people, can wake up and raise your voice and speak your voice, stand up by your courage, you can bring the change, because the vote that you are having is inside you, by you waking up and deciding what you want, by waking up in the morning to go and resist the power that you are having, which is only oppressing you, but not through the ballot. The ballot has never brought a solution, and this was even proved by Joshua Maponga and by Professor Pierre Lumumba, that Africa, we are still behind. And what we are believing in as democrats, that when we do this and protect this democracy and work under this democracy, hoping that maybe a change will come as how we are demanding, then we are deceiving ourselves. Because the people who are up there, who are playing this game, they are the one to decide who to govern the country. They're the one who decide who to inherit the position after their time. So today Museveni knows well that people will wake up, they will go and vote. But he's sure that he cannot get out of that power. And he has said this many times, that no one can take this position from him because the people loves him. And then if people loves him, why is he every time deploying the militaries and police to go and disrupt the campaigning and the rallies of opposition sides? Why? Because if you really believe in yourself and you believe that the people loves you, then you don't have to limit other people to speak their voice or practice their democratic ways. Because democracy has to give everyone and every citizen the freedom to make his decision. So today, Bobi Wine is asking the youth of Uganda to rise up. He's not telling them to go and fight. He's not telling them to go and demonstrate on the street, but he's asking them to go and vote, so that after the vote, they have to protect their own votes. This will bring a change that they want. This will bring a change. I am not saying that the people of Uganda should vote for Kyagulanyi or Bobi Wine. I am not telling you to go and vote for Yoweri Museveni, but I am asking you to make a change by yourself, because you people from Uganda, you are the one who lives in Uganda. We don't live in Uganda. We're just speaking from what we see outside. But inside, you are the one who know everything that is happening. You are today who know, you are the one who knows all that you need, any person that you want. You are the one who know. You know who is the best for you. It's either Museveni or Bobi Wine. You have the choice in your own hands. So this is the only time you are having an opportunity to make a decision that you believe that it will not let you down. You will not regret. So Bobi Wine he's just feeling like the election automatically will be rigged. Automatically election will be rigged. And at this time in the country of Uganda, we are having the two. The country is already split into two. We are having the older generation who are supporting the Yoweri Museveni, the president. And we are having the younger generation who are behind Bobi Wine, because they are believing that only the young person can come and hold this position. And that's the only time they can get a change that they want. But not in the other side of the older generation. And the older generation are believing that if they allow this position to go or to shift to the younger people, they are going to mislead the country. They are going to sell their country. They are going to make or to bring back their countries to where it was in 1980s. Museveni was the one who fought for this country to free it. And he brought it in a very chaotic situation. But now we cannot live on past narratives. Because when we keep on remembering the past narratives, this will make us even to just living in blindly. Even when these leaders will be taking us to the halls, we'll just fall and start to cry when we're inside, but not asking questions or not demanding for the change. So it's the time that each and every person in the country of Uganda, we're just having few days. You are just having few days for you to make a change. Because today I believe that Africa, in the world today, across the world, Africa is the only continent that today is having the majority of young people, the youths. And you don't have to be told, because at this time I know that every youth is able to access the internet, and we're watching how the world is changing, through through the force of the youth. And I believe that if we need a change in any country, this can only be done with the youth, with the pressure and force of the youth, because we have to pressure this to happen. We have to make it happen, because we are fighting for our own generation. Because the people who are living there, who are older people, they have nothing to lose, because they have already lived their life. But we have a lot to lose. If we cannot sit down and make the best decision, we have a lot to lose. So it is the time that we, as the youth of Africa, we have to make a change today that will determine our future. Not only us, but even the coming generation will have to come and find the great continent of Africa, but not an exploited Africa, not a dictative Africa, and not a colonial Africa, which is still living under pressure of foreign influence, under the puppet leaders, under the corrupt leaders. Every corner you touch, there is a scandal and a problem. This is not the Africa we want, but we need a free, a peaceful, and independent Africa that will benefit each and every person, and for these days and for the coming generation. So that's why we are fighting for this. So whenever you see we as the youths, we are coming out, speak about this to try to address and advocate all these changes that we are trying to push, that the people should sit down and think, because we are still living under neocolonization. If we can sit down and think all that is happening and decide that this is what we want, then this will help, and will help a lot. This will save the continent from exploitation and from the foreign stealing and looting that has always been going. So my people, the matters of Uganda concerns me. The problems of Nigeria and Tanzania concerns me. That's why we always come here to speak about this. It is not that we're having some maybe hidden agendas, but I believe that even where you are sitting today, you may need to see a changed Africa. A free Africa where everyone will have the right to access and to speak, whereby you will be having a united and peaceful Africa. You can be able to walk from or to move from Kenya to Uganda without being questioned or being disrupted. You can move from Nigeria to South Africa without being asked the visas, but only an identification card, because you are an African but not a foreigner. Just tell me out of the comment section. The people of Uganda, I'm still there for you. Make a decision. You know what is best for you. We will not choose for you, but you know what you need that will bring a change that you deserve. Let me have your views in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Consider subscribing to the Black History, because we need to connect to the more episodes. I love and appreciate you always. Stay tuned, and let's come meet on the next episode. Be blessed.